Lesson 4 is solving systems of three equations. So basically what we're saying is that we're finding where three different lines would connect, basically. One of the equations will already be solved. So when we look at our first example here, the x equals 2 is already solved. That means that we have one of our answers already. So the steps are that we would plug solved variable into other two equations. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the 2 and I'm going to plug it in to the x values for the other two equations. So I'm going to write -4 parenthesis instead of the x I'm putting in 2, and then I have minus 2z equals 0. The next equation I'm going to write 2, and instead of the x I'm putting in the 2 plus 2y minus z equals 10. So I just rewrote both of those equations with the number 2 in replacement of the x. So what I want to do now is I want to simplify by getting rid of the parentheses. So -4 times 2 is -8 minus 2z equals 0. Then I'm going to take my other equation, write it over here. I have 2 times 2 is 4 plus 2y minus z equals 10. So what I want to look at is both equations at this point. I have the letter z in this equation, one letter, and then my other one I have a y and a z. So the second step says determine if you can solve either equation, only one variable, and solve it if you can. So I can solve the equation that has only one variable, which is that first one in yellow that I highlighted. And the way I'll do that is I want the z to be by itself, so I need to move that -8 over to the other side. So plus 8, so I have, if the 8's cancel, I'm left with -2z equals 0 plus 8 is 8. Now at this point I can solve for z by dividing by -2, and z equals 8 divided by -2 is -4. So at this point I have two answers. I have x equals 2, which was given to me in the beginning, and then I have what z equals. So I have two answers out of 3. The third step says plug both values that we just found. So I'm going to kind of circle them. This value here and this value here. I'm going to take both those values and plug it into an equation to solve for the last letter, which is y. So the only equation that has the letter y in it is this bottom one, so I have to choose that as the equation I use. So I'm going to write the equation out as it is first. And now I'm going to replace the x and the z value with the numbers that I have. So x is 2, so I'm going to write 2 times 2 plus 2y, because I don't know what my y value is, minus z, which I got -4, equals 10. So if you notice, I have two parentheses here. I have this 2 here, and I have this -4 here. So I need to get rid of the parentheses next. So I'm going to multiply. 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to bring my 2y down because I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. And then this negative in front of the parenthesis means that this -4 becomes a +4. Now I need to combine like terms. So I got rid of the parentheses. I'm going to combine like terms. Now I have a 4 and a 4. I can add those together, making it 8. So I have 8 plus 2y equals 10. So now I can continue to solve. I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to take the 8 and move it over. So I have -8 on both sides. So now I have 2y equals 10 minus 8, which is 2. Last step is to divide each side by 2. And y equals 2 divided by 2 is 1. So now I have all three answers. The way that I write my final answer is I want it to be in alphabetical order. So it'll be x, comma, y, comma, z. It's called an ordered triple. So the x value, what's given to me, it's a 2. My y value I just found is a 1. And my z value I found earlier, which is -4. And that's my final answer. We're going to do one more, just so you kind of get the hang of all the steps. All right, so first thing I see, top equation says y equals 1. That's my first answer. So I'm going to take y and plug it into both y values of the two other equations. So -3, instead of y, I'm putting in a 1, plus z equals 2. So I just copied that middle equation with a y in replacement. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the other one. 2x minus 5, and instead of the y, I'm putting a 1 in, minus z equals -2. So now I want to look at this equation, both of them, and see which one has only one letter. So that would be this one here. So that means I can solve for z on this, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So -3 times 1 is -3. Bring down my z equals 2. And now to solve, I only have to do one step. Bring my 3 to the other side by adding it. So z equals 5. And now I have my second answer. My last thing I'm going to do before I write my answer is I'm going to plug the z value into this equation that has all three letters. So I'll do that again here. So we have 2x, I don't know what x is yet, minus 5 times y, which we found in the beginning, which is 1, minus z, so minus the 5 equals -2. Now I want to get rid of my parentheses. So 2x gets brought down. -5 times 1 is -5. And then the negative gets distributed to the 5 that I had for my z value. So it'll be -5 equals -2. Now I can combine like terms. -5 minus 5 equals -10. And I'm going to bring everything else down. The 2x equals -2. So now I have only 2 more steps to go. I'm going to do my wall and floor. I want x to be by itself, so I need to move the 10 by adding it. So I have 2x equals -2 plus 10 is 8. Last step, divide each side by 2. So x equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. So again, your three answers will be put in what's called an ordered triple, x, y, and z. So our final answer is x is 4, y is given, it was 1, and z is 5. And that is it.